On today's episode, Elon's all hands on deck meeting provides insight into Tesla's future, highlighting robots, supercomputers, and gigapress machines, while the US government begins to crack down hard on anti Tesla violence. In a move that took the world by surprise, Tesla held a staff meeting on March 20th that was live streamed to the public. This is something that Elon Musk refers to as an all hands. We know that they do these at least once a year at SpaceX and Tesla, but this one just happens to coincide with a particularly tumultuous period for the company. So what we got was a first-hand account of what it looks like when Elon rallies his troops. You've probably heard about Elon's master plans, part 1, 2, and 3. Best we can tell, we're still somewhere between part 2 and 3, but it seems that Elon has already jumped straight to something he now calls the ultimate master plan for Tesla, which he says will create a new world with sustainable abundance for all. From what we can gather, it sounds like this has quickly become the new mission statement at Tesla. According to Elon's vision, this would be a future where anyone would be able to access any good or service at will. Tesla has always been pitched as an ecosystem of both products and services, so in this all-hands meeting, we got some interesting details about how that's supposed to play out. Naturally, Elon says the key to this future is AI and robots, the centerpiece of which will be Optimus, the Tesla bot, which Elon says is the most sophisticated humanoid robot on Earth, which is a pretty bold claim in a week where we've seen some pretty mind-blowing robot demonstrations from Boston Dynamics and Unitree. But Elon took that as an opportunity to reiterate what actually matters the most. Our robot has a real brain, not on the cloud and not pre-programmed. So this is one aspect where Tesla still claims to lead the industry, and while Optimus hasn't shown an ability to do cartwheels or backflips just yet, it does have something that was noticeably absent from the Boston Dynamics video: hands. And beyond that, Elon highlighted that Optimus has an all-new hand design that has entered production, upgraded with 22 degrees of freedom over the previous hand design with just 11 degrees. But there's only so much value that can come from impressive specs and polished videos. Where Tesla really shines is when they bring together everything that the company has already learned from 2 decades of building cars, batteries, electronics, design, manufacturing, full self-driving. All of this has been transferred into Optimus, and that has all manifested in the first ever mass production line for humanoid robots. 2 of them, actually. Did you know your online activity is vulnerable every time you connect to public Wi-Fi or browse the web? Hackers, data breaches, and surveillance are real threats, but CyberGhost VPN is here to protect you. With just a few clicks, you can encrypt your data, hide your IP address, and enjoy military-grade security no matter which device you're using. CyberGhost works seamlessly on Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS, making it the ultimate tool for secure browsing. But CyberGhost VPN doesn't just protect your data. It unlocks the full potential of the internet. From accessing geo-restricted content on streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime, to finding better online deals and securing your personal information while shopping, CyberGhost VPN is your all-in-one solution, and with its strict no-logs policy, even they won't know what you're up to online. CyberGhost has over 38 million users and an excellent rating on Trustpilot, rated by over 20,000 users, so it's definitely one of the best VPNs in the world. Tesla Space viewers get an incredible deal, just $2.03 a month, 4 months free, and a 45-day money-back guarantee. That's 84% off regular pricing. So don't miss out on the chance to protect up to 7 devices with 1 subscription. Click the link below and start enjoying safe, unrestricted internet today. Tesla has already begun factory production of the Optimus robot on a line at Fremont, while an even bigger production line is under construction at Giga Texas. Elon gave us some details on what this plan is going to look like. Optimus pilot production starts this year, with plans to make about 5,000 bots in 2025. Elon said that being very optimistic, they could possibly reach a maximum of 10,000 this year, but half of that would be a realistic prediction, and at the very least, Tesla will have made enough parts for 10 to 12,000 robots by the end of this year, even if they don't get around to completing all of them. And then 2026 would be when volume production hits, reaching as high as 50,000 Optimus units in the second year. Elon told his staff Tesla is the only company that can make intelligent humanoid robots at scale. Optimus will be the biggest product of all time by far, Nothing will be even close. I think it will be 10 times bigger than the next biggest product ever made. And if that wasn't enough, Elon then went on to talk about the massive support network of high-powered computer infrastructure that is going to support the development of both humanoid robots and autonomous vehicles. DOGE. This is a sometimes mysterious topic which pops up from time to time in Tesla presentations, but it's essentially Tesla's own unique reinvention of the supercomputer that's built specifically for the purpose of training artificial intelligence. So it was very fascinating to hear that DOGE version 1 is now active in both New York and Palo Alto, with the system already handling somewhere between 5 and 10% of the FSD training load. DOGE V2 is on the way, and it will be 10 times more powerful than DOGE 1. Elon says he is optimistic and that there's a real shot at a breakthrough. While DOGE is a very aspirational new take on the supercomputer, Tesla is also heavily invested in a more traditional data center, which is Cortex, located in a new expansion at the Gigafactory in Austin, currently powered by 50,000 active NVIDIA GPUs, and soon to reach 100,000, at which point Elon says it will be a top 5 AI training cluster in the world, and beyond that, Elon propped a hint that Cortex 2 is not far away. Elon also touched on the topic of Hardware 4, or AI 4, which is now included with all new Tesla vehicles. This is the brain of the car when it comes to full self-driving, providing something known as inference compute. Basically, it's able to run very complex AI models in real time while also operating at a very low power level. Elon says that even though they designed this hardware several years ago, there isn't anything on the market that you can buy that would be better than AI 4. Also, Elon says that Tesla will obviously have an AI 5, an AI 6, and AI 7 on the way, but there is no point in waiting for the next version because they'll always keep improving. Now, there is a long-standing narrative from Elon Musk that he already has an entire army of autonomous robotaxis just waiting to be switched on. He says that almost the entire Tesla fleet, which will surpass 10 million vehicles next year, is capable of autonomy, and an autonomous car could have the usefulness of 5 to 10 times that of a regular car. So with a software update, he could convert 10 million cars into the usefulness of 50 to 100 million overnight. We also heard a surprisingly long timeline from Elon on how this robotaxi rollout will happen. He says that in 5 years, I think we'll have regulatory approvals, I think globally. There was also quite a surprising note on the upcoming Cybercab vehicle. We've always known Tesla wants to produce as many of them as possible for as cheap as possible, but Elon now says a Cybercab will ultimately roll off the production line once every 5 seconds. Tesla is already leading the industry with its roughly 35-second interval for the Model Y. Elon went on to say that Cybercab production line doesn't look like a normal car manufacturing line, it looks like a high-speed consumer electronics line moving so fast that people can't get close to it. We saw what over-automating the lines did with the Model 3 ramp-up back in the day. Elon needed to eventually step in and put some humans back into the mix, but it seems that Elon is ready to give that another go. Tesla is also making progress on cell production, which would take the costs down further. Elon says they think they're now making the lowest cost per kilowatt hour in the world. In a recent Monroe Live interview with Lars and Franz, we learned that Tesla is focused on making the Cybercab very easy to produce. It will feature a big rear casting and a big front casting. Lars also said they'll have 2 hot-stamped door rings that will be laser welded together, and the castings won't even be painted on this vehicle. We also recently learned that Tesla is developing a new process so they don't even have to paint the body of the Cybercab, which they'll achieve by injecting the paint at the same time that they make the plastic panels. The Tesla Cybercab production equipment is already being installed at Giga Texas, with first prototype builds slated to start this summer. And speaking of gigacasting, Elon wants to experiment with much larger gigacasting machines than ever before. Much bigger, potentially up to 50,000 tons of force to make 5 castings at a time. For context, Tesla's largest gigapress is 9,000 tons currently, and the highest we've ever seen automakers go is around 16,000 tons. Now, we don't know if Tesla will use the gigapress in the production of their new semi-truck, but Elon did mention that Tesla is on track to complete the semi-factory this year. He said Tesla will make millions of these transport trucks, and these will also have the ability to go autonomously down the road. Tesla semi-self-driving is actually something Elon hasn't talked about in a long time, which we think is kind of weird since it's a huge use case given the shortage of truckers in the US. We've seen some driverless rigs testing around Tesla facilities before, so it is seemingly obvious that the technology is coming, but we wonder why they've decided to keep the semi-FSD under wraps. We have the latest on the anti-Tesla trend that has brought waves of violence and destruction to Tesla vehicles and dealerships around the world, and it looks like things are finally starting to calm down. First off, Tesla and the US government are cracking down hard on vandalism, even getting the FBI involved, who have recently announced that they are launching a new task force to investigate attacks targeting Tesla. The new Tesla task force is a 10-person strong team that will include personnel from their counterterrorism division. The FBI is treating the attacks as domestic terrorism. Meanwhile, the U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi has announced charges against 3 individuals responsible for the violent destruction of Tesla properties. The Attorney General said, quote, "The days of committing crimes without consequences have ended. Let this be a warning. If you join this wave of domestic terrorism against Tesla properties, the Department of Justice will put you behind bars." This all came after a pretty spectacular incident in Las Vegas where an entire parking lot of Teslas were set on fire. Elon posted in a response, "This level of violence is insane and deeply wrong. Tesla just makes electric cars and has done nothing to deserve these evil attacks." Over 80 Teslas were purposely damaged at the company's largest service center in Canada. Damage included deep scratches and punctured tires. Elon says Tesla has ramped up security and activated Sentry mode on all vehicles at its stores. But even still, Tesla protesters are planning their biggest day of action yet, aiming for 500 demonstrations at Tesla showrooms across the world on March 29th. Thanks again to CyberGhost for sponsoring today's video. Get 84% off regular pricing by using the link in the description below.